for the submission or filing of the SAL-N is on April 30. Many of our colleagues in the impeachment court would just like to know, will the Chief Justice amend his SAL-N come April 30?
I have not yet, frankly speaking, Your Honor, I have not yet conferred with him in connection with this matter. But if there is a necessity pursuant to law, we will ask him to do
Yes,
so.
because we know that the law allows
Correction.
amendments to the SAL-N, yes.
Right, Your
And
Honor,
if there were inaccuracies or omissions born out of the 2 months hearings here, perhaps lessons have been learned and corrections in the SAL-N would be in order. So I was wondering
Yes.
whether the lead counsel would have any information and whether the new SAL-N would be utilized or submitted by the defense eventually.
Yes, Your Honor, we will do that as very clarified by Your Honor. If there is a necessity to do so, we will do so, Your Honor. But here is my point. There are quite a number of developments that took place in this case, Your Honor. For instance, as you will note, there were 45 titles before. It was reduced to so much until finally only 5. And we stand on record that all those 5 parcels of properties are already
Reflected.
Yes, Your Honor.
Just to clarify, the 45 based on the LRA report minus 3 of the namesake of the son-in-law,
Yes.
minus the canceled titles became 21 per Senator Recto's interpellation,
Yes.
minus the 3 parking lots per Senator Recto's interpellation, minus the 7 of Mr. Vicente, and the others are members of the family who own it, and therefore 5 are reflected in the SAL-N.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay,
That's
just
correct,
to
Your Honor.
summarize the 2 months' work that we've done,
Thank
and
you.
we await the submission of the Chief Justice's SAL-N.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr.
Thank you, Your Honor, for the advice.
Your Honor, Your Honor.
Gentleman from Cebu.
Your Honor, may I just... okay.
Yeah, it was the pleasure of the Chief Prosecutor.
We just want to respond to very briefly to that point raised by Defense Counsel. Just one sentence statement, Your Honor.
Please proceed.
Yeah, this is regarding the properties. It was mentioned by the Defense Counsel that from 45 it's down to 5 properties.
Yes.
We take exception to that statement, and the position of the prosecution is that when we submitted our offer of evidence, we submitted 21 properties, and we stand by
There was
that.
a stipulation of about this property issue yesterday.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why. That's
So
why.
there were-
That's why.
That
That's why, Your
remains in the
Honor.
record.
There were stipulations entered into between the parties, Your Honor. And
Yes.
they agreed to the cancellation or disregarding the other properties in the name of other persons, Your Honor. That's my computation, that there are only 5. But if the evidence will show other properties, then we will meet that with our own evidence. It cannot be met by mere manifestation.
There were 45 in the beginning, then a reduction of 17, which was 1 reservation, then 12 with 4 reservations, then 16 left, plus 5 reservation, 21.
Yes, that's correct. We confirm that, Your Honor. Thank you.
That was the agreement yesterday.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
All right. So, the gentleman from Cebu.
Thank you, Mr. President. We're just curious, would like to clarify, Mr. Mayor, how is the issuance of a check triggered in the Manila City Hall? I suppose it's the same as Cebu City Hall and all other cities. What triggers the issuance of
What triggers?
That is correct.
Yung unang siguro yung kontrata natapos na comply with, and then the process begins of the preparation of the check.
But that goes through the city treasurer,
The
that
treasurer,
goes through the city auditor,
accountant,
that goes to the accountant, and
budget officer,
who is the final
signatory.
signatory before it goes to the treasurer for the cutting of the check.
Dalawa po ang nakapirma sa cheque ng Maynila. Yung city treasurer and secretary to the mayor.
Secretary to the Mayor.
Opo.
So, ito pong cheque na po ito, sino ho magdi-decide kung ang vendor ay Basa Guidotti Enterprises at ang itatype po sa cheque, Cristina Corora in trust for Basa Guidotti Enterprises.
Yung po City Treasurer na po yun. Sila po ang final preparation.
So they are responsible in case the funds are mislaid
Covered
or
by any check.
or mispaid.
Opo.
Di ba?
Opo.
Okay. Normally po, pag na-prepare ho yung voucher, di ba ina-approve yan, pagkatapos tina-type out yung check. Gaano katagal ho ang proseso niyan? 1 week, 2 weeks?
We try our best to be efficient on this dahil lahat yung mga nagnenegosyo sa Maynila, ayaw ko pong nadidelay yung payment.
Yes. What you try to do and what you actually achieve are two different things. Normally, what is the time frame?
Couple of weeks,
Couple.
1 month,
Okay.
yan po ang processing time po.
Okay. Pag na-issue na yung cheque po, tinype out na, how long does it usually take for the vendor, the payee, to pick up the check?
Alam nyo, usually, basta natapos yung cheque, yung tatanggap ng cheque, mabilis pa po sa...
Opo, pero sino po nagno-notify?
Sila po, siyempre, nagpa-follow up dun sa City Treasurer's Office kung meron na po silang cheque.
Nag-i-standby doon.
Normally, meron silang mga liaison officer that keeps close observation of
That will sit aside,
of
sit
the
around the
requirements.
place and wait for their check to be cut day
Of the
after day.
requirement.
Ganun ho yun.
something like that.
Okay. Kasi na-notice ho namin that the check was dated June 5, 2001, and it was deposited on June 5, 2001. So, yung pinakita ko ito po sa mga kaibigan ko sa local government, sabi nila, you must have a BIP collecting this check for it to be cut, signed by two people. Muna, tatlong pong, there are 3 initials po dito, no? Signature verified, check, approved. So, tatlo yon. Pero mga initials lang po yon. Pagkatapos, 2 signatures. Liberty Toledo, City Treasurer, at Emmanuel Season, Secretary to the Mayor. That normally will not take 1 day, as you say. Ngunit, it was all signed, issued in 1 day, and deposited on that very same day. So, it's not your fault. We're not blaming you, Mr. Mayor, but that is really efficiency of the first order.
Yung pagkakash po ng cheque o pagdideposito nun, siyempre, pagtanggap nila
Tama po yan, pero tinatanong ko lang kung gaano katagal ho kumuha ng 3 initials at 2 signature. That will usually not be finished in 1 day kasi nakatambak ho yan, di ba? I have seen this. I've worked in City Hall before. My brother has been in City Hall for several terms, and you yourself. And when they bring around a batch of checks for you to sign, I know it's about 12 inches high. And that's at the time. Pagtapos mo dyan, meron pa. So, tuwang-tuwa po ako na the efficiency of City Hall means that you can get 3 initials, approval, check, signature, City Treasurer, Secretary to the Mayor, issue the check, have the guy sign the receipt, go to the bank, and deposit it all on the same day, June 5, 2001.
If there is anything we would like to pride ourselves with, talaga pong mabilis magbayad ng Maynila noong aming administrasyon. Talagang sobrang bilis. Hindi po naiinip ang mga supplier at mga kontratista sapagkat maigpit po ako dyan. Pagka lahat okay na...
Hindi ho ito diniliver pa sa Malacanang.
Hindi po naman siguro.
Alam po ninyo, itong land bank branch sa Malacanang, nasa loob ng Malacanang ho yan, di ba?
Uulitin ko po na
Sa
hindi ko po-
Mabini branch, sa Mabini
Yung-
Hall yata sila noon, no?
Yung insinuation na special treatment ang nakuha nitong mag-asawa o pamilya o korporasyon, I will totally, flatly deny that. Ako po'y kontrapartido nun eh. Ako po'y nanindigan kay Pangulong Erap. Hindi po ako sumama sa EDSA 2. Ako po, katangi-tangi siguro na nasa Malacanang at the last moments of the Erap administration in defense of the Constitution because I believe that what was happening was illegal. Kaya masama po ang loob ko sa administrasyon nun. Hindi ko po sila tinatanggap. And it was a public knowledge that President Arroyo was worried about the city of Manila because the mayor was not in support of her administration. And many times they even tried getting me into their fold, and I refused because I thought it was an illegal government. Until and when the Supreme Court rendered a decision, doon ko lamang po tinanggap sila. Kaya kung meron pong special treatment or any special attention na bibigay ko doon sa kumakatawan, sa kinaiinisan kong administrasyon, ay hindi po nangyari yun. In fact, negative po ang dating sa akin.
Ba't hindi mo pinadelay ito pag galit ka na?
Hindi po. Yung iba po naman yung transaction. Yung transaksyon opisyal, opisyal. Yung personal, nanatili po ako sa piling ni Pangulong Erap.
Ngunit, sa panahon na yon, ano pang posisyon ni Justice Corona? Wasn't he Chief of Staff of...
At that time, no, he was not Chief of Staff. As
He
far
was-
as
he was
my
Chief of
knowledge is
Staff.
concerned,
He was Chief of Staff po of
at the time,
Malacanang.
when I first got to know them, they were attorney and Mrs. Corona. And at that point in time, I definitely was not following up on his role.
But the negotiations for this started in January.
No, it started in 1999.
I see. So yes, he was then outside of government and became Chief of Staff when Gloria Arroyo became President. Well, he was the Chief of Staff of Gloria Arroyo as Vice President. Well, in any case, thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. It's good to see you in good health.
For a good friend like the senator, I'm always
The
happy.
gentleman from Makati and Bicol.
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to be educated for my edification. Supposing we grant, as the line of questioning of the prosecution indicated, that there was irregularity